Hello, good day and welcome. I'm Timotab, and today I'm going to solve Cake and Candles by Blobz. Um, it's my birthday week, and I am solving a number of different puzzles that have been set especially for my birthday. So thank you very much to Blobz for setting this for me. If you would like to try this for yourself, then it will be in the description as the first link. Let's go through the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box, we're going to place the digits 1 through 9 once each. Digits separated by a flame are consecutive. That's just like a standard white Kropki dot. One of these will be consecutive to the other. Box borders divide blue candles into segments with the same sum. So these blue candles, that's often known as a region sum line. So this digit will be the sum of these two, and this digit will be the sum of these two. Digits in blue squares, of which there are 3, are even. Digits in blue circles, of which there are 2, are odd. Along the green line, adjacent digits differ by at least 5. So if this were a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9 in order to be at least 5 away from it. And along pink lines, digits form a non-repeating consecutive sequence in any order. So if I were to discover that this were a 1, then these in some order would be 2, 3, and 4 in order to make a consecutive sequence. But again, it doesn't have to be in any particular order along the line. Okay, that's the rules. I'm now going to restart the puzzle in order to reset the timer. And let's begin. Okay, so the first thing I notice is these 3 blue squares which see each other. They have to be from 2, 4, 6, and 8, but none of them can be 2 because that means that these would have to both be 1, but I can't do that by Sudoku. These are from 4, 6, and 8. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, so let's talk a bit about the green line, often known as a German whispers line. First of all, I can't place a 5 on the green line because if I did that, then this digit would have to be either a 0 or less, or 10 or more, and none of those are valid Sudoku digits. And now that means that we are going to alternate between high and low and high and low, above 5 and below 5. Because if I made this 1, to be at least 5 away from it, I would have to be 6 or more. If I made it 9, to be at least 5 away from it, I would have to be at 4 or less. Now, normally at this stage, I would then just color these in alternating colors without knowing which is high and which is low, but I have spotted how to tell which is which. If you think you can spot it, then pause the video and give it a try. Okay, welcome back. And the key is that one of these 3, these blue squares, is going to be a 4. I don't know which one yet, but let us suppose it's this one. Then that means that these 2 digits are going to be 1 and 3. And what's important about that is that they are both low digits. Now, I don't know whether this one's going to be a 4 with a 1, 3 here, or this one's going to be a 4 with a 1, 3 here, or this one's going to be 4 with a 1, 3 here. But I do know that one of these 3 digits is going to be either a 1 or a 3, i.e. a low digit. And it doesn't matter which one it is, it would force the other 2 to be low with it. So that means that all of these are definitely low digits. And I am going to color those blue because that's a nice, cool color. And nope, that obscures our candles. So I'm not going to choose blue this time. Let's choose dark green. Can I see the light green on that? Yes, I can. And then that makes these digits high, and I will see if orange still works. Yep, that seems to. Oh, wait, no, that kind of obscures the candle. So I'm going to make those yellow. Okay. So green is going to be low. It's a kind of a cool color. Yellow is going to be high. It's kind of a hot, warm color. So that should help us remember. All right. Let's go ahead and pencil mark those. Yes, I think I will. These are the high digits, and these are the low digits. Okay. Now we can talk about the third secret of Gem and Whispers, is that 4 and 6 are generally hard to place. Because if this were a 4, these two would both have to be 9, and I can't do that by sudoku. I could still have a 4 here, because those two are permitted to be 9 at the same time. Likewise, I can't have this one as a 6, because I'd need ones either side of it, but this one still could be. So I am going to remove 4s where 4s cannot be, and remove 6s where 6s cannot be. All right, what does that mean? Well, that's an interesting consequence here, because that means that these are from 6, 7, 8, and 9. And they are both high digits. Oh, there we go. So we've now got all 4 high digits in this box. Okay, having removed 4 from here, we know that this is low. It's from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that's interesting. This now can't be a 4, because if this were 4, these two would be 1 and 3. And then to be consecutive with the 1 or 3 that's here, this would have to be 2 or 4, but it couldn't be 4 because that's a 4. It would have to be 2. So that we have a candle which is going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4 on it. But it can't be this one, because then this would have no fill. So that's not a 4. Okay. And now this can't be a 1, because if this were a 1, these would be 2, 3, and 4, and then whichever of these two candles was the 4 would break this or this cell. So that's not a 1. Okay. All right. What have we got going on? Oh, we've got a 4, 6, 8. So these two can't be 6 and 8. Uh, okay. These 4 cells are from 1, 2, 3, and 5. Okay. These two can't be 9s, because 9 plus something is going to be more than a single digit. So these are from 1, 3, 5, and 7. Okay, these actually can't be ones, because if either of them were a one, I can't get high enough to make 7 with the restrictions on the other part of the candle. Um, okay, what next? Okay, one of these two is a 6, and that means that one of these two is a 7. So I can put, so no, those aren't 7s. I'll put my 6 there. But what that does mean, if this is a 7, these, if this were a 7, the only way to make that, given this is odd, this would have to be even, so that would have to be 2, 5. So if this was 7, this would be 2, 5. So we know that 2 is in one of those two digits, or those two cells, and we know that 5 is in one of those two. If 5 is here, it certainly isn't here. And if 2 is in one of those, neither of those are 2s. Ooh. Okay. So now, whichever one of these is 7, I'm going to have 2 odd digits on the other side. And 2 odd digits always add to even. So these can't be 9s. That's a 7-8 pair. That means that's a 6-9 pair. So how do we make 8? Well, we can't do 5-3 because we've already allocated the 5 to the 7. It would have to be 7-1. So that makes this a 1-2 pair. Oh, and that's a 5-7 pair. Okay, that's pretty nice. That removes a 1 from here and here. And let's mark those as low digits. We'll mark this as a high digit. Okay. Now where to look? I can't have a 1 on this line at all, actually, can I? Because it would force 2, 3, and 4. So 1's not in any of those, it's not there. So in this row, 1 is in one of those 3. That were a 1, that would be 2, that would be 3. Oh, hang on a minute. If that's 3, then these could be from as high as 4, 5, and 6. Um, ah, okay, right. So we know that if this is a 2, we can't have a 1 on the line, or one of these two cells is going to break whichever of these is the 4, the candle with the 4 at the base. Um, so that means that if it's a 2, it has to be 2, 3, 4, 5. And if it is a 3, It either has to be 2, 3, 4, 5 or 3, 4, 5, 6. What it does mean is that there is a 5 on it, and the 5 can't go there. So that's a 5. Okay. So this is now 3, and this is 5. I can mark that as low. That makes this a 2. That means that that is not a 2, and this is now even. So it's not a 1 or a 3. This is, if that's a 2, we now need 3 and 4. So that's 3 and 4 go there. Those are both low. That makes this a 2. But this being a, well, two ways to look at it. Either is that if this were 3 or 4, that 1, 2, 3, 4 candle would break that cell, or just saying there's a 4 in the box. So that is not a 4. This is our 4. That is 1 or 3. That is also 1 or 3 and low. And this is 2 and low. Oh, so that's a high digit. That's not a 1 or a 5. Nor is it 2, 3, or 4. So that is a high digit. Okay. All right. These are all high digits. I've got the 5 and I've got the 4 low digits. So now this digit can at most be a 5. Actually, I can mark this as a high digit. Let's do that quickly. Yeah. Got one more high digit, which is going to go into one of those two. Okay. Let's take a look here. So if this is 8, that can't be 1 or 2. Ah, hang on a minute. We have a 7-8 pair. So one of these two is going to be a 7. So this can't be a 3. So now this can't be an 8 because this, if that were 8, that would be 2, that would be 6. We've already got a 6 in the box. If that were 8, 1, 7, we've already got a 7 in the box. So that is our 6, and that is our 8. So now, if this is 1, then this is 5. And if this is 2, this is 4. And if this is 4, then that is 3 or 5. And if it is 5, it is 4 because it can't be 6 because we already have the 6 in the box. Does that mean we definitely have a 5 in one of these two? Is that right? 2, 4. No, that could be 3. 1, 5, 4, 2, 4, 3 or 5. Okay, we don't definitely have a 5 out of those two. 1, 5, 4, 2, 4, 3 or 5. We do definitely have a 4 in one of these two. So that makes that 3, which makes that a 4. Now that can't be a 3. And now we do have a 4-5 pair. So 1, 5, 4 or 2, 4, 5. That means that these two are both low digits. And in fact, where does 2 go in this box? Got to go there. So that's 2, that's 4, that's 5. And that's a 1, 3 pair. Okay. All right. We know that 1 is in one of these two cells. We know that 1 is in one of these two cells. So that means in these two columns, we have already used up our allocation of 1s. We're either going to have 1 here and here, or 1 here and here. And that's often called an X-wing because it kind of makes an X. But what it also means is that those two can't be 1s. So that's now a 2-3 pair. If that's a 2 or 3, that can't be a 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 lows. But this could be a 5. That could be. So one of these two is a 1, because that can't be. That's not a 6. That's an 8 or a 9. All right. Let's have a look at this candle. Okay, that can't be a 4 because I'd need to make that a 4. It can't be a 2 because I have a 2 in the row. So 3 plus 5 or 1 plus 7. That means that this is even, and it would be 4 or 6. Because obviously it could not be an 8 because we've already got an 8 in the column now. That is not an 8. That not being a 1 means that that is not a 6. Now we have a 7, 8, 9 triple. One of these two is a 3, so that's not a 7. That makes that a 1, 7 pair. Okay. What am I missing from this row is, because I've got a 7, 8, 9 triple, is 1 and 6. Okay, that can't be an 8 because I've got an 8 in the box. So one of these two is a 7. This can't be a 3. That's a 1. So that's a 6, which is high. That's a 1, which is low. That is not a 1. Those could both be 7s. They could both be 9s. Okay. Right, that's not a 2. Got a 2 in the column. Right, that is not 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, or 2 or 3. So that is a 1 or a 4. If that's a 1, then that would be a 2. If it's a 4, this would be 3 or 5. But I can at least colour that as a low digit. This must be a high digit. Um, and these two must be low digits. In fact, they are a 3, 4 pair. Does that have a consequence? Yes, it does. Okay. If this were 3, that would be 5. That would be 4 or 6. Um, okay, let's look at it from a different way. Yes, if this were 4, this would be 5, and this would be 3, and that would break that cell. So that is now a 6 for sure. And let's color that high. But we could still have 6, 5, 3, with that being a 4, or 6, 7, 1, and that not being determined. These are from 6, 8, and 9. Oh, okay. What do I look for next? So one of those two is a low digit, right? One of those has to be a low digit. It'll give us 3 low digits plus a 5, or 4 low digits. How does that help? Hmm, not sure. Okay, what next? Okay, if that were 9, 8, that would be 7. That would be 5. That couldn't add up to 8. Okay, yes, if this were 9, that would be 8. That would make that 7, which by sudoku makes that 5. And then, but that adding 1 or 2 to 5 does not make 8. That is not 9. That is 6. That is 7. Makes that 5. And that 2. That's 1. And that's 7. That's 8. And that's 9. That is not 7. Okay, I like that. That's a nice step. That 2 means that that's 3 and 2. That's 3 and 1. This 3 means that that cannot be a 7. That is a 9. That's an 8. That's a 7. Now that is a 1. And these are from 6, 8, 9. That one makes this a 7, and that's a 1. Oh, right. This 8, that could still be 1, 7, or 3, 5. That could still be a 7. That could still be a 7. Okay, these two digits are 5 and 6. Is that right? Yes, they're 5 and 6. These are 4 and 9. Ah, right, yes, this 8 makes that 9, and that's an 8. That is not an 8. Where do I look next? Feels close, but I'm not quite sure I've got there. All right. Aha. Where does 1 go in this box? It can't go there. It can't go there. Obviously, that's not a 1, and then this one means it can't go there. So that's a 1. So that is, in fact, a 2. That is not a 2. And then I've got 1, 2, 3. So my fourth low is in one of these two cells. I don't know which one it is, but I do know whichever one it is, it's going to be a 3 or a 4. Which means I have an effective 3-4 pair in the column, making that a 1. So now that is 7. We can mark that as high. This makes that 3, 4, or 5 to complete the column. That gives me a 3, 4, 5 triple. That becomes a 6. I'm now back from my sneeze. Excuse me. So that is a 7, 8 pair which I can resolve. That 8 removes an 8 from there. Those are not 9s. It's a 6, 8 pair. 5 is in one of those two. 5 is in one of those two. That gives me an X-wing on 5s. One of those two is a 5. In fact, that is a 5-4 pair. Hmm. Okay. I'm missing digits from this column are 2, 3, 4, 9. That's not 2 or 3. That's not 4 or 9. That's not a 2. Ah, so that's the only place for a 2. And it gives me a 3, 4, 9 triple in the column. I don't think. Ah, there's 1. Makes that a 3 and that a 1. So that is not a 3. That's a 3. That's a 4. That's not 4. So this is a 4. This is now a 9 by German Whisper. That's 7. 9 and 7. This 4 makes this 9. No, right colour. Um, 9 makes that 6. 8, 6. Gives me a 9 here. Get a 5 and a 6. 5s make this a 3 and a 5. And we get a 3 here. And that's an 8. And this must be a 4. No, that's not right. Try a 2. That looks much better. Okay, nearly done. Oh, I can mark that as my. Right, these 3 digits are 1, 2, so that's 3, 8, and 5. Oh, so that's the 8. That's the 3. That's a 5. So in the row, we have, oh, that's a low digit, 5 and 8, which we have resolved. That resolves this 5 and 4. There we go. So now in this column, we have 7 and 9. They are both high digits. That's the 9. That's the 7. It gives us 4 and 6. And that's going to be the 4. That's going to be the 6. And then that is a 4. And that is a 9. Oh, congrats, you've solved the puzzle. Well, yeah, no, that was really enjoyable. Thank you ever so much, Blobz, for creating that for me. Um, I am now going to remove all of the colouring because then you can see the picture once again. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. Some very neat deductions in there where you have to think about multiple things at once. So not the simplest of puzzles, but has enough interest for it to be a super fun puzzle. I really like that. Thank you very much. Um, if you like this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.